So at the time of recording, there's around 2 days left of the ranked split. So that means there's 2 days left of ranked on Olympus until we move on to King's Canyon. Now King's Canyon is known for being quite hard for ranked, mainly because of the awful rotations, the amount of third parties that happen. But if you're really trying to focus on that rank grind, then that's something you got to put up with for the next split of Apex Ranked. So today I'm going over a couple tips that will help you get a kickstart on ranked on King's Canyon to help you rank up as quickly and as easily as possible. Hey, how's it going? I hope you're having a fantastic day. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Dominate and welcome to the channel. I post every other day to help you become an Apex legend. So as I said, there's 2 days left of the ranked split before we go on to King's Canyon. And King's Canyon is known for being one of the worst maps, especially for ranked. And that's mainly because of the fact that King's Canyon is a pretty small map. Not only that, it's very, very open too. There's areas of the map which are just so open too, which is just a death trap. So when it comes to King's Canyon, you always want to think of these 3 things. You want to think of rotations, you want to think about the vast amount of third parties, and you want to think about landing locations too. Now, just before we get into these videos, I also have a map playlist in the description down below where I go over every single map, I go over the landing locations and the best rotations for each and every map, including King's Canyon, and they will all be in the description down below. But as I said, King's Canyon is a very, very small map. And because of that, third parties are very, very common. So when you're in the dropship for the first time and then the new rank split, you obviously got to think about where you're going to land. So as every single map, including King's Canyon, you need to think of it as a donut. You want to avoid the middle part and land on the outer ring. This is a rule for every single map which you should take into account, because if you land in the middle of any map, you are going to die very, very quickly, and it's simple as this. If you land in the middle of the map, you're just going to get pushed at every single angle possible. So if you land on the outer, everyone is going to be rotating in, and if you land in the center of the map, everyone's going to be rotating in from every single angle possible. They're all going to be pushed into you, and you're going to be caught in the middle of it. So you want to think of King's Canyon as a donut, and you want to land on the outer ring. So some really good places to land would be places like Crypto's map room, you have Gauntlet as well, and you have like Capacitor, something like that as well. So you have these places on the outer ring, and once you're there, that's when you want to be hitting them beacons. If you land Capacitor, you want to rotate into Cage, and you want to get that beacon up. This brand new rank split will be exactly the same as last split. Now, people are saying this season is the easiest time to rank up. So if you're trying to hit them new milestones, absolutely go for it. So if you're a platinum player, aim for that diamond spot. If you're a diamond player, aim for that master spot. Even lower, if you're a gold player, aim for that platinum spot. And that's all because this season, Apex rewards placement. Kills, yes, you are going to get more points for kills. But realistically, placement points is where the big chunk of points come in. So if you have no kills throughout the whole game and you come 4th, you got to start gaining. Once you come 2nd, you got to be gaining like 80 off the rip, and you're not even got a kill. Now if you get a couple kills with that, you got to get 202. Now that example is from diamond rank. You can gain 202 RP from a game if you get 5 kills or 5 cams, as I like to call it, and a win. But realistically, you could come 2nd with 1 kill and get nearly 100 RP just for coming 2nd and 1 kill. So you want to land on the donut and you want to rotate in. And during that rotation, you want to be scanning the beacons. With those beacons, you can obviously see where the next ring is going to be. And you just want to head towards the ring every single point of the game. You just want to run, scan beacons, see where the ring is. And then from there, you want to try to predict where the ring's going to go after that. And that's where you want to start setting up. You want to gain that height early so no one else is contesting it. And if someone else tries to contest it, you hold that high ground. Now, when it comes to kills on King's Canyon, this is kind of tricky. Just because if you start a fight, you got to get 4th partied, you got to get 5th partied. And that's not even an exaggeration. So in King's Canyon, you want to lay low. You want to land on the ring, you want to rotate in, scan the beacons. And whilst you're doing that, you want to loot up and get the gear that you want and need. And when you've got the gear that you want and need, if you hear a third party going on, or if you're hear a fight and you want a third party, feel free, go and get that third party. But I cannot stress this enough, when you're playing on the new split of ranked on King's Canyon, you do not want to start fights. You do not want to start fights. King's Canyon is so small that if you start a fight, like I said, it's not even an exaggeration, you are going to get 5th parted. So when it comes to Kings Canyon, you want to be that 5th party. Now when it comes to legends on Kings Canyon, just because Kings Canyon is so small, you don't need a massive amount of movement legends. So you don't need like 2 movement legends on your team. You don't need a Valkyrie and a Pathfinder. I would say a Valkyrie is going to be the best for Kings Canyon. You're going to get more use out of her ult, because when you use her ultimate, because the map is so small, you have less area to cover, and so you'll go further. So I would say a Valkyrie is going to be really strong on this map. I think your Wraiths and your Gibbies are all going to be the same. They're always going to be good. Now, a Gibby, I think, is actually going to be huge on Kings Canyon. As we've said multiple times in this video, Kings Canyon is such a small map, and his ultimate is a huge area of denial. So when the ring gets smaller and smaller, just by chucking your ultimate, you're going to be covering such a wide area that they have to avoid. You're going to be easy to pick off people. Now, if you've been playing ranked on Olympus, you would have seen that, well, you more likely wouldn't have seen how many caustics there are. They are little to no caustics on their team. You never have a caustic on your team, and you rarely go against a caustic on your team. And that's because caustic isn't the way to go on Olympus. Now, the new rank split is on Kings Canyon, and caustic is going to be huge. Caustic is such a good legend on Kings Canyon, just because it's heavily building based. When it comes to ranked on Kings Canyon, this is a rank where people like to set up. They like to camp in buildings and lock the building down with caustic traps or Watson fences. And you're just not able to do that in Olympus. So when you scan those beacons, just be aware that if you're going to rotate and take hold of buildings, that there's most likely going to be a caustic in there. Not only this, as I said with the Gibby ult, because the map is so small, a caustic ultimate is huge too. When it comes to late game and them small circles, caustic ultimate is insane. World's Edge and Kings Canyon are kind of the same in the sense of that the legends work on both. Olympus is kind of different because of like the sheer size of the map, that you kind of need a big rotation to get you around. So you need your Valkyrie and you need your Gibby to keep you safe, because there's that many rotations that is involved in such a big map that it's easy to get like third partied. And the same goes for Kings Canyon in the sense that you want that Valkyrie because you got to be covering such a small area that your ultimate is going to be much more effective, and you need that Gibby too because of the amount of third parties, fourth party, fifth parties that there are within Kings Canyon. But the Gibby just got to keep you safe, and with that, you got to run a caustic. This is where team comp comes in. You need to start thinking about the different type of team comps that work. So like a Valkyrie, a Gibby, a Bloodhound, a Valkyrie, a Gibby, a Wraith, something like that is going to be big. But also in Kings Canyon, if you're going for that bunker down strategy, maybe a Wraith, a caustic, and again a Valkyrie, or maybe a Bloodhound would be really good. Now, if you want to know some of the best team comps for ranked, then I'll have this video in the top right hand corner of the screen now, and it'll also be linked in the description down below. These are the best team comps within Apex Legends. I go over some of the best team comps that work just normally in ranked, and also massively we go over the ALGS, the Apex Legends Global Series. We go over what the professionals use and why they use them, the type of pick rates that each legend have, and why some legends work better than others. So just to recap this video a little bit, when you play on Kings Canyon for the first time for the new rank split, you want to be thinking of these 3 things. You want to be thinking of rotations, you want to be thinking of landing locations, and the vast amount of third parties. When it comes to third parties, you want to have someone who's the leader. You want to have someone who's the IGL, the in-game leader, who tells you and your team what fights to be taken, whether you should take that fight or not, where you should be looting up, when you should be using ultimates, all that type of thing. And if you want to know how you yourself can become an in-game leader, where you are the leader of your squad and you tell your team what to do, then I have this brand new video out now, which I put on screen now, and it'll also be in the link in the description down below. So if you want to know how you yourself can become an in-game leader and the head of your squad, then make sure you give that video a watch. So that is going to call it for today's video. If you found this video helpful and or entertaining in any way, shape or form, then make sure you go down below and leave a like. Don't forget that I do post videos every other day that help you become an Apex legend. I've been playing Apex since day 1. I have over 3 years of experience when it comes to Apex Legends. So if you yourself want to know how you can be the best player that you can be, then make sure you go down below and leave a sub. Because after all, not only do you subscribe to know how to become an Apex Legend, you will also enter into the next subscriber shoutout, which I do every single video. So actually down below, drop any sub, hopefully. You might as well join the community Discord, which will also be linked in the pinned comment down below. So yeah, that is going to call it for today's video. All the videos that I mentioned within this one will all be linked in the description too. So yeah, thank you guys so much for your support. We are so close to 1.4k subs now, which is absolutely mind-blowing. Thank you guys so much for that. Once again, it's been my pleasure, and until next time, keep dominating Legends.
What? Are they still up? They have to push down, right?
No, this.
Oh shit.
What's one?